What is the next big thing going to be in the crypto markets? This is one of those questions that as investors, everybody likes to speculate about a little bit because everybody wants to get to the party early. You want to get there while there's still good food and lots of tasty beers to drink. You don't want to show up to the party late. It's a mess. The cops arrive, and you guys know how it is. You want to get in early on the next big trends before they actually take off in a serious way. So in this video, I want to discuss with you 4 big trends that I see coming up for the cryptocurrency markets that are going to be areas that are going to make massive, massive returns for investors. So if you want to get those big gains, then these are the 4 areas that I think you should be paying attention to right now. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos about cryptocurrency investing. So if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest, all of the hottest happening out here in these crazy markets, then you need to subscribe to the channel and also click on the notification bell to know when I put out a new video. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. And look, everybody wants to catch the next Dogecoin-like pump. In fact, Dogecoin actually ended up leading an entire category of meme coins that absolutely went crazy. There were Elon Musk inspired coins that went from nothing to being worth millions of dollars. There were 20 or 30 different knockoffs of Dogecoin. There was Shiba Coin and Dogecoin and Moondog and all this crazy, crazy stuff that was happening over the last few days. That was the short-lived meme coin season. We also saw a few Ponzi schemes pop up during that time. People do seem to love their Ponzi schemes in this market. Never really understood it myself, but hey, you know, the market's a crazy, crazy place. And of course, everybody remembers good old-fashioned Polkadot season. Man, I miss Polkadot season. Actually, Polkadot season is kind of still happening. We are still seeing Polkadot-related coins making big raises, but really right now the pressure is on for Polkadot to deliver those freaking parachains, man. Come on, Gavin, let's get those parachains out, buddy. Kusama first, obviously, Polkadot coming later. I think we're very, very close at this point, but as with all tech deadlines, you never know exactly when it's going to come. But the Polkadot hype train that was really a big, big factor in the market in Q4 2020, in Q1 2021, should not be ignored because it says that people get super, super excited about these ecosystems that are developing just in the same way they got excited about Polkadot. They're going to get excited about other ecosystems too. They're going to go crazy for the new coins that are launching on these platforms, especially for some of the big high hype chains. Right now, we're also kind of seeing something of a Polygon season with a lot of integrations from a lot of the traditional DeFi players on Ethereum coming over to Polygon, but also Polygon launching a lot of its own stuff. We're seeing a whole new cycle of coins launching on Polygon right now. Polygon itself going up like crazy. QuickSwap, the big decentralized exchange on Polygon, also going up like crazy. But what comes next? Well, that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, I covered this topic actually in issue number 42 of Wealth Mastery, which was last week's issue. Now, if you're not a Wealth Mastery member yet, you definitely need to check it out. So every single week, the team and I produce an investor report just jam-packed full of value. We have a decentralized finance tutorial, step-by-step, walking you right through how to get yourself set up with these different DeFi protocols, technical analysis on the markets, often looking at the big picture, but also some altcoin technicals as well, an interview with an industry leader, a trending coin analysis, looking at all the hot coins that are trending that people are talking about and if they deserve to have your attention or not. We also do a deep dive altcoin report every single week on a hot altcoin. All of that and much, much more for less than $10 a week, making this one of the most value-packed and affordable investor reports on the market. Just click on the link down below me here to get started and become a member today. And as mentioned, this topic that we're discussing right now was actually discussed in last week's issue, but I think it's a very important topic, so we're going to dive into it in a video today as well. So without any further ado, let's talk about Solana season. Now, Solana has been going crazy. It's now the 15th biggest cryptocurrency asset. Solana is backed by a lot of big money players. Sam Bankman-Fried, he's the CEO of the FTX exchange. MXC, another exchange, they came out recently and said they're throwing tens of millions of dollars into the Solana ecosystem, pushing that forward. Now, Solana, the blockchain itself, it's a beast. It does like 50,000 transactions per second. Fees are dirt cheap. It's a good user experience. It's not surprising to see so many people now actually piling into this blockchain. But while the Solana asset itself has been very bullish recently, it's not what's going to give you the biggest gains, much like with Polkadot. Polkadot obviously did very well. Solana is probably going to continue to do quite well. But at a $12 billion market cap, it can only go so much higher, right? It's going to move much slower at this point, where smart investors are already starting to look beyond the primary Solana asset and into the Solana ecosystem. So if we go over here on CoinGecko to the categories section, you'll see the top Solana ecosystem coins by market cap. So we see a lot of coins starting to come in. Now, Raydium and Serum, these are the two big decentralized finance protocols on Solana. You can see they're still not even worth $1 billion a piece yet. These are only worth around $500 million a piece. So there's still a lot of room for these particular assets to grow, for these decentralized finance applications to grow as they do get more total value locked on their platforms as Solana continues to grow moving forward. You can see, of course, Solana also has a lot of integrations with some of the biggest decentralized finance platforms that already exist in the market. They're working with Chainlink and Ren, Ramp as well, and a few others. So Solana's been doing a lot, but it's not what's out in the market now. I mean, sure, there's some good opportunities there to get into some pretty low cap stuff that's coming out into the market, but it's really about what comes next for Solana. It just reminds me totally of what we saw with Polkadot, where in the early days, we had some Polkadot coins, we had some guys that were talking about integrating Polkadot, et cetera, but then we had this wave of new projects coming out, building on the Polkadot ecosystem. I think you'll see Sol Starter, which is the IDO launchpad for the Solana ecosystem, bringing a lot of stuff in. I'm sure it'll be very, very, very popular with investors when we see all these new coins launching. Now, we're already starting to see this happen. Crowny, for example, is a coin that just launched the other day. So this is a coin that does rewards for engaging with brands and different stuff like this, built, of course, on Solana. They actually got a grant from the Serum Foundation. Now, Crowny has, of course, gone crazy. It's up 250% since 5 freaking days ago. So you can see already that Solana coin hype is starting to build. And yeah, it did have a bit of a blow off top yesterday. It's down 40% since yesterday, but we can see that hype building around these new launches on Solana. I think there's going to be a lot of money made in these tokens moving forward. Now, the next coin I want to talk about, the next season to be keeping an eye on, is Elrond season. I think this is coming. Now, I've been a big Elrond fan for a long time. I've had a big bag of Elrond for ages now, and I am holding my Elrond for a good long time yet because I think this thing has still got a lot of room to run. Now, Elrond, in case you are not familiar, is basically Ethereum 2.0, but today. So Elrond has massive scalability. It's already a sharded blockchain. It also has Bitcoin-like scarcity with only 20 million coins and a little bit of change max supply. So there's a lot of potential here. Now, why are we talking about Elrond right now? Because Elrond already has an incredible amount of integrations and partnerships with a lot of existing decentralized finance platforms. But there's two very big things going on right now that make me very, very bullish about what Elrond is doing. The first is the Maiar exchange. So this is being airdropped out. 100% of the tokens are being airdropped out to Elrond token holders. So if you are an Elrond token holder and you do have your coins sitting in your Maiar wallet, well, then you should definitely make sure you are going to claim your airdrop for the MEX tokens. So that's the Maiar exchange. So this is basically going to be the Uniswap of the Elrond network. So it's going to be a big deal. This is, of course, going to kickstart a whole new wave of decentralized finance happening on the Elrond network. Now, the other big thing to be excited about is the upcoming Elrond Launchpad. Again, these Launchpad tokens, we've seen the tokens themselves go absolutely crazy. Polkastarter was one of the first ones coming out on the Polkadot network, launched a load of really, really high quality coins onto the Polkadot network. And the Polkastarter token itself also went totally crazy price-wise. But we need these big fundraising mechanisms like these launchpads, like Solstarter, or like Polkastarter, and now, of course, Elrond will also have its own launchpad, bringing a whole new wave of tokens into the Elrond universe. This, of course, will be very big. If we think exactly what happened to Polkadot, again, is likely to repeat here for Elrond. So very bullish on this ecosystem. We don't have any launches announced or anything like that yet, but I think we're going to see some pretty soon. Which moves me on to Cardano season. Of course, Cardano season. Come on, man. Cardano is coming soon. The mainnet is going to be here. I mean, the smart contracts on the mainnet is technically already on the mainnet, but the smart contracts are coming to the mainnet for Cardano, likely in August, assuming that there is no delays with the roadmap. So we're about to see this just explosion of new projects coming to Cardano. We're going to have stablecoins, we're going to have NFT marketplaces, we're going to have borrowing and lending platforms, decentralized exchanges, and derivatives platforms, and all of this stuff happening on Cardano. And again, we want to look for the launchpads. The one that I'm particularly bullish on is called OCamFi. So OCam is one of the new launchpads for the Cardano network. So we're seeing it in a very similar way here to what we saw with Polkadot, where we had some months before we saw some main launches coming up for Polkadot, all this hype starting to build. And now we're starting to see that build up for Cardano. So we're only a few months away from those smart contracts launching now. Now we are seeing then, of course, these launchpads coming in, getting that ecosystem just peppered with all of these new launches, these exciting new coins that are going to come through and, of course, make a truckload of money for investors. Now, again, the launchpad tokens themselves tend to be pretty good investments. They tend to just see the token price of these things actually go up if they deliver on having good launches coming out. So in order to be able to get into the sales on OCam, well, you're going to need to have their tokens. So just buying and holding these tokens, and remember this one's only at approximately a $40 million market cap right now, so it's relatively reasonably priced, but just buying and holding these tokens will get you into all of these different token sales that are going to happen on Cardano. Now, if we look at what's happened with others like Paid Networks Ignition Launchpad, for example, if you got into those tokens early, holy cow, you've had an incredible opportunity to just get token sale after token sale after token sale and make some pretty incredible returns, to be honest. So if you can afford to get enough tokens to have allocations in these sales, the potential for returns is absolutely incredible. We've seen so many token sales this season doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x on day freaking one, which is absolutely crazy. Now, the Cardano ecosystem, we don't have a lot of coins yet. The launch pads are some of the first ones that we've really seen coming out. I know there's a few other things, there's a few NFTs and stuff like that, but in terms of a total ecosystem for Cardano right now, it's still very small. So these early movers can do very well in the long term because, let's keep it real, the Cardano community is huge, very enthusiastic, and will probably pile in like crazy to these launch pads when they start coming out to these new tokens that are going to be coming to the Cardano network. So definitely keep an eye on these launch pads. OCam is one that I have personally invested in and very bullish on moving forward. So something to put on your radar as well. And the final trend that I see, which will make big returns for investors, NFTs. And you might say, hey, hold on a second, Lark. I thought you were going to talk about the next big thing. Well, I don't think NFTs have even scratched the freaking surface of what is possible for this technology. I mean, just think about what we're talking about here. This is digital ownership on steroids. We're talking about digital art. Yeah, I know, digital art, copy and pasted. I own it now. Digital art may not be the gateway for most people, though. Digital art's quite a very specific thing for a niche group of collectors who can afford to pay the incredible prices for some of these digital art pieces. I think beyond that, I think about collectibles, right? Think about, for example, sports cards. We see some projects like Chiliz or Flow, which is the blockchain that works with the NBA Top Shots. So we think about these, for example, and what are we talking about? Digital collectibles. People love sports, right? People love sports. They're crazy about it. And so why wouldn't they want to get sports NFTs of their favorite football team or their favorite NBA team or their favorite NBA player? Of course they would. In fact, the popularity of these platforms is already very, very evident. Now, what about gaming? Gaming, of course, is a massive, massive thing, and gamers tend to be a little more tech savvy than the general population. So we see Engine Coin and Decentraland and the in-game items that, for example, Engine Coin offers, where you have their tokens actually melted into like unique swords or unique guns or whatever it might be in their game universe, where you can take these items from game to game to game. Decentraland, it's an entire crypto-friendly VR world. It's absolutely crazy. And on down the list, we have Axie Infinity, which is a Pokemon-like battle game. And we have a lot of coins that have kind of taken some big hits during the recent market correction, like Eternity Chain. Now, this is one that I'm very bullish on moving forward. I think it's going to do very, very well in the market. They're starting to get some of these big NFTs out. I know they just announced one recently with the famous football player Pele, so they'll be bringing out an official NFT from him. So very big stuff here that we're seeing actually starting to happen. We're seeing some big games. My Neighbor Alice is a massive, massive game potential. Animal Crossing is what it's based on. So we're only seeing the earliest iterations of this stuff. Or Terra Virtua working with some of the biggest film brands in the freaking world, right? So the NFT hype craze, I think it's already gone through a pretty big cycle in terms of some massive valuations. The $69 million NFT sale by that guy Beeple, that was a pretty crazy moment. NFT pick and shovel plays, everything I'm talking about here right now, all these different coins, the NFT pick and shovel plays, these took pretty big hits during the recent downturn, but NFTs aren't going away. Eminem just sold $2 million worth of NFTs this week. Binance just announced that it's launching an NFT marketplace in June. It's still a big trend. NFTs, in my opinion, they haven't even really taken off yet. If you think the last couple months of NFTs have been crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet, because it's going to go absolutely crazy. And we're just talking about a few use cases here. What about when it starts coming to stuff like invoices or patents or any other kind of different enterprise use cases, tokenized real estate? Any of this stuff is possible with NFT technology. It's just digital, verifiable ownership. You need to think beyond the art use case, because it's one of the just very small niche use cases. What actually is going on in the NFT space is much more exciting and much more in-depth than that. And I think that we're still going to see some insane valuations for a lot of these NFT pick and shovel coins. Now, the NFTs themselves, I don't really invest in NFTs. I've got a few NFTs, but I didn't buy them or get them as, investments for long-term or something like that. I just got them for fun. But the coins, I think there's a big opportunity still there for investors. So don't ignore the NFT space, would be my thought for this. So just something for you to think about. Anyway, those are just the 4 areas that I'm watching right now as an investor that could be the next big things happening in the market. But what do you think? Do you think that these 4 areas that I mentioned today, Solana season, Elrond season, Cardano season, and of course the continuation of NFT season, do you think those are going to be the next big things happening in the market? Or are you looking somewhere else? Have you got your attention maybe on the upcoming Avalanche network and all the coins that are going to start coming to Avalanche? Maybe you're looking somewhere else that I'm not even thinking about right now. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.